I think the thing that draws me to surfing is the fact that it's completely different from my day-to-day life. I find it very restful to be sat out on the waves with nothing else to think about, and that moment of catching the waves is just something that you don't get anywhere else in life. It's a moment of peace, and that's got a lot of power behind it, I think. I've been surfing about 20 years, possibly. Pretty badly.
First time I went surfing was in middle school with one of my buddies down in Florida. We had no idea what we were doing.
My motivation was Point Break, believe it or not. I've even got a t-shirt with the characters on from that. So started there, progressed badly over those 20 years.
I've always been drawn to the ocean. It's something that's good for the soul. I've always wanted to surf, and actually I came October 2016 was my first time here. This is my sophomore season. I'm back for a second time. It's been a blast.
Came here 18 months ago and had a fantastic time. Improved a lot, but nowhere near as much as I've improved this week.
I started surfing as a replacement for sea kayaking after graduate school when we moved to New Jersey. Before we had kids, but I spent years not surfing. Only in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years started surfing
intensely.
Not intensely, but some more, and enjoying it more than ever.
I started surfing just before we moved to New Jersey. We visited my brother in Hawaii when we played around in the waves, but I am just a casual surfer. So the last time I surfed, for example, was a year ago here at Surf Simply.
I started in Hawaii. We took a vacation and the kids wanted to learn how to surf. The instructors convinced me to go too, and I was hooked and the kids didn't care that much, and I think that was about 5 or 6 years ago.
I started a little bit later, but not much later. I actually met Kathy through surfing. Yeah, I was hooked from the first wave. Have never looked back.
So I first surfed about 2.5 years ago, actually in Costa Rica, but in a different part. And I've surfed a few times since then, but this was my first real experience with a lot of instruction. And I have 3 little boys who are avid surfers, so my goal is to be able to get out there with them.
I started surfing about 5 years ago, just to try something different and learn something new. I've been surfing pretty inconsistently since then, and this is my second time at Surf Simply. I absolutely loved it last year, and I had to come back and improve my surfing.
It seems like I've been surfing for a while, but we live in landlocked Jackson Hole, Wyoming, so there's no beach there. So the surfing that I've been doing has been strictly on vacation.
Been surfing for like 2 weeks a year for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years.
So I have only surfed maybe 3 hours before I came to Surf Simply, and I thought it would be fun to learn, and it's something I've always wanted to pick up. Fills me with dread and anxiety, but with something I wanted to conquer and a fear that I wanted to face.
I met a surfer in Mexico, and he had mentioned to me that he was really excited about coming to Surf Simply, and it just put a little bug in my ear to just kind of check it out. And it took a couple of years, but we're here.
So the idea to come down was a dear friend, Kathy Thomas.
So it was Kathy's idea.
They have a good group that comes. It's a fun women's group.
There's a group that came last year, but I am one of the newbies this year.
So Kathy's really the driving force behind a lot of people surfing, including me and a lot of our friends. She was the first one who came here to Surf Simply, had the idea to bring a group of women.
So it was really fun being with the whole group. It made it a lot of fun. We had lots of laughs. We had a good time out in the water, and we will definitely all come back next year, I think.
I think it was kind of unique that we had separate coaches and really separating us out and looking at our individual skills and where we needed to be individually and the work that we needed to do to get better.
This week was particularly challenging because we're both kind of feeling a plateau in our surfing. A lot of the tides early on were fast, and it's something that at the stage of surfing we're at, we need to learn how to incorporate into our surfing. And Jesse was incredible and handed us all these drills, but with drills comes a lot of anxiety, a lot of disappointment. You don't feel like you're surfing well. You see all of our friends catching these long rides, and we're falling, and we're frustrated. 3 days ago, I was ready to cry. I'm like, I'm giving up surfing.
Early in the week, I struggled and learning all sorts of new stuff. Harry said it'll come together Thursday and Friday. I was like, I don't know, I'm surfing like crap.
I was so upset, and Jesse's like, just ride it out, ride it out. This is what you have to do to get past this plateau. And then we went out, and we had this session of our lives.
And sure enough, we came together Thursday and Friday and learned a ton.
I think it was super fun to finally get the angled turn. It just feels so different to catch a wave. Sorry. But the angle takeoff was super fun. Just feels so different to catch a wave so much higher, and there's so much more time to just do turns, which is really fun. I've never quite experienced that because I always just did the bottom turn.
On steeper waves, it's nice to be able to take off to the side and not get crushed by the wave.
It was fun. Asher was amazing, just took me back to the very basics, you know, going through what I really needed to understand with functional stance.
Jessie was amazing to surf her this week. Even though the things she made us do were frustrating in the moment, there are things that we can take with us and really continue to learn even when we're at home surfing our own break, and we're going to keep reminding each other of what we need to focus on.
So my coach this week was Teal, and really I came in just wanting to figure out the basics. I wanted to be safe, I wanted to learn water safety. As it progressed, I really wanted to go out the back, which we did.
First time I was here, you know, it was my first week surfing ever. I only went out back a couple times. Most of the time was in the white water. I made it my goal when I came here this time that I wanted to progress and have more time out back in the green waves.
My biggest fear was paddling out once I started going out the back and having to master the turtle dive, which I don't particularly love. So I had a bit of anxiety with that.
It's a little nerve-wracking at first. The waves don't seem that big from the beach. You get out there and they're definitely a little bit bigger than you thought they were.
You know, but as the week went on, I was able to get through it, and now it's not such a big deal.
Sunday afternoon, paddled out back, and by Monday I felt comfortable, and that nervous energy that I had when I would walk out to the beach, it's almost gone, and definitely by the end of the week.
I always get a little anxious before going into the water. In fact, I was just telling Dan today, before our session tonight, this is the first time that I went out without being nervous.
I felt completely comfortable, and I was so excited about the fact that I could get out there and not feel like death was coming, and feel in control, knowing that I had the ability to tackle what she put in front of me, and I did more than I ever expected to do.
So historically, surfing has always given me anxiety. Anytime I knew I was going to go surfing, my anxiety level just went up a little. But something clicked coming down here this week, and I just kind of got over my fears.
So I think that learning how to surf helps to allay some of that anxiety.
So I'm the expert of anxiety outside the water, and it's definitely the case that surfing provides me some respite from that.
I have quite a stressful job. It's kind of commercial. It involves more or less permanently arguing with people about money, which is never very fun. And I think surfing is just the opposite of that.
One of the things that I really encourage Dan to do is surf as much as he can, because I feel like for Danny being out on the water, he's only able to focus on that wave that he's catching at the time.
It's something that is just in the moment. It enables you to just be at peace with yourself and just concentrate on one thing, and nothing else matters at that point.
We've come the same week for 3 years in a row, and it's something that we sort of a place mark in the year that we think back to.
It's fun to be able to do something together with, you know, without the pressures of home. Everything is absolutely taken care of here. The food is amazing.
Dennis is insane. All you want to do is eat when you're here because you just want to come back to Dennis's meals.
The food's excellent. You don't want for anything.
Anything we want or need is just a question away.
I have to give love to Crystal and to Andre. Those stretching classes, those were so instrumental for me making it through the week. Crystal for that massage.
There's nothing better than a crystal massage.
It came at exactly the right time when my body's kind of wearing down.
The entire program is so well thought out, and I loved my time with Teal, and I loved my time here just feeling like there was such a positive force behind me, giving me a lot of confidence in the water.
The quality of the instructors and their kindness and their positivity, their encouraging nature. And I'm always impressed by the difference in the levels of all the surfers who come here, and everyone is totally taken care of, improves,
Everyone improves,
and that really impresses me.
I'd really like to thank the coaches here. Harrison has been absolutely awesome. The rest of the team are fantastic.
All of the coaches are incredible. I think we had a particularly amazing week with Jessie. I mean, I think she just really pushed us. Tough, but really loving. We're really grateful to her and everybody here for just making the experience so wonderful.